If again, any objections to recording, we're on our way, Madam Chair. Off to you.
Right. Good evening, everybody. This is the Waukegan Public Library Governance Committee meeting, Wednesday, March 9th, 2022, 6:00 p.m. And we will have roll call. And everybody just disappeared. Rob Freeman.
Present.
Deb.
I'm here. Here I am.
I'm missing somebody. Who else is here?
Gerardo is in.
Yeah.
Gerardo.
And Nathan just joined us too, so.
I don't see you, Nathan.
Oh, here it comes again.
And Nathan,
Hey, how's it going?
are you here?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yep, everyone is here. So I need a
All
motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
I motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Deb, seconded by Gerardo, that we accept the meeting agenda for tonight. Do I need a vote, individual vote? All those in favor, vote.
I
I,
believe it has to be a roll call, so you may have
Oh, I
to call
have
names
to roll
again.
call. Rob,
Aye.
Deb,
I,
Gerardo,
Aye.
Nathan.
Aye.
Okay. New business. We have 3 policies here that we want to discuss tonight. The first one is the ethics policy. Did everybody get a chance to go over it?
Yes.
Anybody have any conversation about it? The changes that John suggested? Rob?
Some of the things that I noticed was between the ethics and internet access and the other, that we were switching between like the numbering systems again. So in this one, it's Roman numerals in the code of ethics, and the others, it's letters. So I just thought we should probably keep that consistent. And the links in the purpose, I wondered if we could move those down to the citations, and have those links down there and just have the list of what we ascribe to at the top to keep that cleaner looking. Yeah.
You bet.
Anybody else got any suggestions or discussions?
I don't have a suggestion, but I have a question about number 3, when we're talking about, let me go down to 1, 2, 3, the third one, where we protect each library's users' right to privacy and confidentiality. Didn't we, maybe this is just something I'm remembering that I didn't really happen, but I thought we said something about putting an age in there. Did we say that? Or did I dream that?
I thought we said we weren't going to put an age.
Okay. I know it was something about age. I got an age and a question mark by it. So was that?
I just remember that we talked about it would be the parent's responsibility.
Okay.
And not
If I may,
ours.
Madam Chair, these code of ethics are exact interpretations of the ALA code of ethics. In June of 2021, American Library Association added a 9th code of ethic to it. We used to have a 9th code, but it had to do with we not to use our official position or powers to benefit from personal gifts, solicit personal gifts, or use our position to influence hiring decisions. I believe that's illegal. So I don't think we need anything in our policy that says we won't break the law. We need to perhaps mirror what ALA recommended. We adapt this new 9th, which is affirming the rights of every person. recognizing and dismantling systemic and individual biases, confront inequality and oppression. It's a social justice ethic, code of ethics. So that is the only addition to the policy as it was written is changing our old 9th code of ethic to this 9th code of ethic.
Okay.
Want to see it, so it needs a lot of momentum, and then it's hard to get.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
Well, I put a link in the chat. It was something I talked with John about earlier today. I was looking at other boards and what their ethics policies look like, and I noticed with Warren Newport, they have one for the trustees themselves. So I know this one does cover that partially. There's some of these that I would assume apply to, like they would apply to us as well. But I didn't know if the board thought it would be necessary for us to possibly create our own trustee code of ethics. Maybe not right now, but in the future, possibly.
Can I just say something? You brought it up. There must have been a reason why you felt we should do this. What would be your reason? I mean, I'm not against it. I just want to, if you felt that strongly, then we probably should.
I thought it was something that could kind of bring sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. So kind of
Kinda
bring
like-
us together and kind of that we would kind of work on together and also kind of spell out what behaviors we want in each other to abide by. So yeah.
Hey, Rob, how would you view this as different from like the legal stuff that we have? Does that make sense? Like what would be like additions, or is this just kind of clarifying what's already there in terms of like some of the assignments or the things we have to sign about not abusing our position?
Yeah. Since I just brought it up, I thought give everybody time to read through it themselves at a different time. But I don't know, it just had some really good points in there about how, like, I don't know how to say this best, like what we want what we think a good library board trustee looks like, and kind of if we have a policy to it, holding ourselves accountable. I just was putting that out there.
Can I make a suggestion that we discuss that read over this, everybody, and discuss it at our next governance meeting?
I will second that.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
I need a first.
I will first.
And first, who was that? Nathan?
Yes, that was me.
Okay. It's been moved by
And I'll
Nathan.
second it.
Seconded by Deb and Rob, that we review the board ethics policy at the next governance meeting.
And Madam Chair, because it's a procedural and it's a tabling, basically a motion to table this discussion, I think we don't even need to vote. It can just be
Okay.
tabled unless anyone objects and wants to keep the conversation going.
Okay.
So back to the code of ethics. Ethics policy current is on the right-hand side of your screen, and the left-hand side is changes were recommended to keep consistent numbering. I kept the Roman numerals because they were Roman numerals over here, but moving all of these links to the citations area down below, related references. Any other questions, comments, or concerns on the code of ethics? Very, very, very little changed You note that we, the staff of the Waukegan Library, significantly influence and control the selection, et cetera. It's all similar, if not the same. Any other recommendations for change?
Anyone else? Okay. Do we have to vote on bringing this to the meeting now?
You can, yes.
Well, I can't until somebody says they'd like to. Come on, Carol. Come
I'll
on, somebody.
make a motion to bring this forward to the board
I
as,
second. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say, with the discussed amendments.
It's been moved by Rob, seconded by Nathan, that we bring to the board the ethics policy with the recommended changes.
Do we need a roll call at
Anybody have
this
any
point,
questions?
John?
Yes, you would. Nathan seconded, and so we'll need a roll call, Madam Chair.
Rob,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Guillermo,
Aye.
Nathan.
Aye.
It has been so moved. Next is a confidentiality policy review. Why are you smiling, Guillermo?
It's Gerardo, but I love Guillermo a lot
Oh,
too.
And
I
I
totally
see,
love it.
and so well, tell me that I'm wrong. Okay,
No,
Gerardo.
I totally love it personally. I love
That
it.
was my son's name. Okay, Gerard was my son's
It's-
name, so I should know it.
It's a beautiful name.
Next, we'll have the confidentiality policy review. Anybody have any suggestions, corrections, questions?
I would only add that we have it consistent with other documents. This one has A, B, and C, so either having them Roman numerals or the other, whichever way.
And please note that basically it is just a transposition of the original policy minus the website maintained by former director. And I did add disposal of records as a fourth point. So I will make a change to the numbering system so that they're consistent. This is disposal of records. And so any other recommendations, it's basically word for word what the policy was. If there's there anything that we want to change in the confidentiality policy so that it is more modern day, anything that anybody sees that's glaring. Because prior to this policy change, it would be that basically it was an explanation of to what to do with law enforcement agencies. And I don't want it to necessarily be like, it's just criminal. It has to be, we have to share with law enforcement if there's something in imminent danger or threat to life and limb. So I did change to add imminent danger or physical harm. And then otherwise the court system, they need to come with a court order to view patron records and video, et cetera.
And that should come to you anyway.
Correct.
Any request should come to the director.
That's correct, Madam Chair.
And John, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there are still certain, could you still decline at that point to provide those records? And this does cover and you would not disclose circulation records. Is that correct?
Correct. We want to make sure that our patrons are safe, and if they come, somebody has been taken, or we need to know what kind of things they've been watching, they disappeared. We can do some research, but nothing that would be personally identifiable. We wouldn't want to, lend them the whole borrowing history, for example. It would definitely require more discussion than just a blanket. We'll approve everything that they come with. That's why the court order is usually a requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions, concerns? Since we're not making any changes to it. Do we have to vote on this? Okay, we
Madam
got to
Chair,
vote on everything. I need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept this with the changes to the numbering system noted.
I second.
It's been moved by Nathan, seconded by Gerardo, that we accept the changes to the confidentiality policy that we have made to bring to the board. Are you ready for question? Rob,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Gerardo,
I
Nathan?
Aye.
It's been moved and passed. Third is the internet access policy. Questions, concerns, changes? Rob?
Sorry to be
Nope.
this guy
Nope.
again, but some things I noticed at the bottom, H is citations and related references. That would need to be number 4. And then I wrote some other things. Looking at other libraries and their technology use, and that do we need to have it? I saw in here under 3D, patrons with fines in excess of the current fine threshold, see WPL operating policy. Do we need to have that listed in the citations and related references? And some other things that I saw in other places were about time limits, or do we need to include our Wi-Fi hotspots in this? And or cite our use in the library policy anywhere as well. So those are some of the things I saw and were thinking about.
I'll go with that hotspot policy too. I thought maybe it should have went up in number 1, because that's where they're talking about the different types of computer services we have to offer. I think that hotspot, I had a question by number 1, should it go there?
What is wireless access versus hotspot?
I believe that they are one and the same technically.
Oh, okay.
Aren't the hotspots like a separate like thing that they're borrowing to then access our into like our Wi-Fi? No.
They are not. They're like a T-Mobile Wi-Fi hotspot that, you know, it's accessing a network that isn't our network, which is why we
Okay.
did not have to, when we applied for the FCC's Emergency Connectivity Fund, we did not have to must pass muster of SIPA compliance, which is Child Internet Protection Act compliance, because we don't apply for LSTA grant funds, because you have to say that you filter your internet, and we do not, as a public library, filter our internet.
Okay, I just didn't know if we needed to have them listed as one of the things, because that we won't prohibit use or something like that. And then just wondering.
So John, how does it work again? Do you mind explaining it to me so that I can make sure I'm clear on it with the hotspots?
Sure. Patron will check out a Wi-Fi hotspot using their library card, and then they can take it home and use it either at home or on the road. It's portable. There is no filtering, to my knowledge, in terms of the internet on the Wi-Fi hotspots, and so they really don't. I mean, they're not using our system, our internet. Technically, they're
Okay.
using the T-Mobile internet, but it's,
Okay,
we're
that
loaning it
clears it
out to
up.
them, so they would still have to adhere to all of our policies in accordance with, you know, inappropriate use. If somebody were to use a book and throw it through the windshield of a car, it causes an accident, and you know that, then it's obscure and a strange reference. Never mind that I said that. It's not. There is no real liability the library undertakes for the Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay, that clears it up for me. Thanks, John.
You're welcome. if anything, 2B, where the library has no liability of changes direct or indirect viruses occurring as a result of the use of library electronic resources. Like we're making sure we're indemnified.
Do we need to mention our privacy policy or confidentiality policy we just worked on anywhere in here? Like in the citations or anything?
I might recommend that we pause on this one and discuss. I did share it with Isaac, our IT manager, and the rest of the leadership team today to let them know that we were going to be discussing these. This one might require a little bit more introspection, but at the same time, it's fine to pass it as it is, and then because it's exactly the same as what it was, minus the website maintained by, etc.
So do we want to hold off on this one until the next meeting? Until we get some information from the IT department?
Yeah, I like that idea, Gene. I think that it would be interesting to hear what they're, from your perspective, John, even just in an email or something, like what were some of the concerns or what were some of the things that they wanted us to think through.
Absolutely. That's why I was looking for Isaac's IT perspective. I think it's some professional opinion on what does the library need to change. And, there were things in old policies about things like VHS tapes. So we maybe don't need some of the language that's in here, especially the fines and fees that we don't charge fines anymore. So we would have to change in current fine threshold in 3D to current fee threshold and make sure that it's reflected in the operating policy. But it's not a matter, we don't stop people if they're over the fines and fees, then they just get a guest pass. So it seems like unnecessary because they're over a threshold that we restrict access to the computers. When they don't have to be a patron in good standing, they don't even have to identify themselves to use our network in the building. But once again, here's
So
letter
we're
E
gonna
is doing
put this
things that are
one on hold till the
illegal.
next meeting. I need a,
I'll move to do that table.
I will second.
it's been moved by Rob and seconded by Nathan that we table this discussion on the internet until our next meeting, pending review by the IT department. Rob,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Gerardo,
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
and me, I forgot to vote on everything.
You did. I was gonna say that before.
Well,
I
and I
did
think
have-
we the majority rules and you got the vote, they all passed. Regardless.
something that
We
we
got
had
to redo the
discussed-
meeting.
No. We talked about, Rob and John about, did we want to discuss how often the committee met? And I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. And do we need to meet every month? Rob,
I think until we're all caught up and reviewed through all of our policy, that we definitely should meet every month. And I was going to suggest that we come up with a schedule of which policies we're going to do each month so we know in advance. I know we only have a couple minutes, so probably have to do that outside of the meeting, but yeah.
can I get a schedule together and send it to everybody and we agree to it that way? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay,
We can talk about it at the retreat, I imagine.
Absolutely.
public comments?
There were none.
I can't do it, but is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Nathan and seconded by Deborah that we adjourn this meeting at 6:25. Rob,
Aye.
Deborah,
Aye.
Gerardo,
Aye.
Nathan,
Aye.
the majority rules. Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Very much
everyone.
appreciate all your time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Have a good